In today's video, I'll be building floors 15 through 17 of Citadel of the Infinite Abyss, Ring 3 Citadel. The theme of these 3 floors is that the Abyss is chasing after you, and so from this point until the end of the Citadel, it's under a time limit, in addition to pretty much the whole thing being basically an outside section where if you fall, your run ends. That was inspired by one comment, and I've also chosen 3 other comments for these 3 floors. So if you go on to enjoy this video, please remember to leave a like and consider subscribing because I'd love to hit 3,000 subscribers soon. With that, let's get to the building. Here's the Obby idea if you want to come play this. Alright, so if you remember last video, we built the depths of the Abyss section, where you went underneath the floor for most of it. So it starts over here, and then at the end, here. So this is the end for the time being, not anymore. So it's going to be these 3 floors here, so we're going to go ahead and delete the floor. There's like this corner here based on the way I made the floor. I don't feel like explaining specifically how, but maybe you can figure it out. So what I'm gonna do is make there be an insta kill thingy that goes down here, but right here it's just a regular kill brick. I guess I can do that. So you gotta be careful to avoid the kill brick because healing is disabled. Now the way this is gonna work is there's basically gonna be an insta kill that starts. It's like a moving part that starts slowly moving in this direction. Since the whole thing is rotated 45 degrees, it'll be rotated 45 degrees relative to the floor. Now here's the thing, I actually already had this idea of an insta-kill chasing after you towards the end of the tower, but it was just like an insta-kill, which is boring. So the comment says, floor idea, make a floor where there's a chase scene where a void chases after you. You go downward toward the exit. After you escape, the exit door closes on you. Think of this like Run for Your Life in the back rooms or something. There'd be walls and kill bricks trying to end your run. Pretty much just the void chasing after you, so specifically the void. Or because I had to name it Citadel of the Infinite Abyss so that I didn't accidentally copy Citadel of Infinite Void from JTOH, it's the Abyss chasing after you. And I think that's way more interesting and relates to the theme of the Citadel than just, yeah, it's some insta-kill, I don't know. The Citadel of Abstraction thingy down here, it's gonna make this annoying. Although actually, right here, it's okay. So the effects that change when you enter the floor or start it are going to be right here. So I don't want you to be able to like wrap around straight to here or anything. So I'm going to put a barrier. But we can also add a little extra challenge to just going onto this conveyor by doing this. So you'll have to jump in between those. However, that is going to need a nerf. There we go. So the way you'll do this jump is like that. So now I need to add the advanced tools parts and stuff that'll change the effects. Alright, I added all the effects. And I also made some changes to this so that you can't wall hop across, although that realistically isn't going to be an issue anyway. But I made all of the parts be can collide false, and then I added can collide true parts that are invisible in a way that you can't wall hop. I have an interesting idea for something I can do. So there's this wraparound. It's probably possible to do it without taking any damage, but if you go over here, then there. But what if I do like an 8-stud wrap? That's probably impossible to do that without taking any damage, or at least nearly impossible. So I'm gonna take a half stud like this. I'll rotate it too, because why not? So if you're willing to take the risk of doing the half stud jump, then you'll only take 1 hit. But if you're willing to take more kill brick hits, then you can do the easier 8-stud wrap. So if you're on low health, you'll probably want to do this. And back on floor 10, the video titled Floorless, I mentioned a thing where it could be, you could take a shortcut if you're willing to take a shorter route that involves a kill brick, like required damage. So I'm going to do that now, because I had that idea, but I decided I didn't really want it in that spot, but I'm going to do that now. So we're going to have like the main section that goes this way, or the kill brick. So I'll take a kill brick like this, but part of it will just be a normal part. So that should limit the amount of kill brick hits you actually end up taking to like 2 or 3. Alright, I think we've built enough parkour here to begin the chased by the Abyss thing. I wanted the Abyss to deal a little bit of damage as you get close to it, but the closer you get to it, the more damage you take until it's eventually an insta-kill. I also wanted a gradient of colors starting from a bright pink and going towards this color, the color of the Obby slot borders. And I wanted the transparency of each part to increase by 0.5 each part. I did some calculations given how large I wanted the kill bricks to be and how much money I had in the cash storage part, and I chose a good size for the kill bricks. Then I changed some settings of the moving parts so they would work properly, so the last thing I did was link a button to them. However, I couldn't use a make objects visible button because that would make the moving parts all be transparency 0 and can collide true. So what I did instead was have them deactivate by a button as you enter the Obby slot, and I placed a button deactivator on the point where I wanted the Abyss to start chasing you. The button deactivator would deactivate the button that deactivates the Abyss, and this way I could have the Abyss not be there during the previous floors, but when it activates, it will have all the properties I want. Alright, so at this point I've used one of the 4 comments that I'm taking inspiration from in this video, and this is the next one. A floor where it starts super small, 25 by 25 by 25 or something, and every time you press a button, it gets bigger and bigger until it's the size of a full floor and you can progress to the next. What I think I'm going to do is we're going to have like a box in the center of this floor. I guess it can be transparent so you can see the abyss coming after you. Oh, by the way, I added this sign that says the abyss chases after you. I guess it technically will increase in size until it's the full floor size, but yeah, we're gonna have like a teleporter that teleports you into there. Okay, I've added a label that tells you that that's a teleporter so you don't get confused. Now I guess I'll do 3 layers of this box. So let me take a part that'll take up the volume of the whole floor. So 65 by 65 by 65. Of course I'm not gonna be able to afford that, but that's fine. So will I be able to fit 3 like layers of cube-ness around here? Probably not. So we're gonna have to start even smaller than 25 by 25, or even 20 by 20 as I just had it there. Probably like 10 by 10. Okay, now I'm gonna duplicate this. I already duplicated it once, but I'm gonna duplicate it again. Then select 2 of these, and they should scale like in all the directions. I can't see the size of it, but I guess this will work. How large is that? 25 by 25. Okay, that works. Of course, the box isn't gonna be solid. That wouldn't really work. So what I'm going to do is take parts and surround it. And by the way, during this section, you'll have a decreased jump power. That way there's more space. And it's not really going to be like a specific path of parkour. It's just going to be like random scattered platforms. Alright, if I attempt to scale them proportionally, then it scales like completely wrong. So I'm just going to have to put walls around this box. You know, that takes longer. So I don't want to do that. But it looks like I'm gonna have to. So what's the distance between these? 6.5. Because I'm still confined within the 65 by 65 space here, I'm gonna leave it as 6.5 is what it increases by. Alright, there's the box. It's a good thing I built the parkour along sort of the edges of the floor now that I'm building a giant box in the middle of it. And I think a nice touch would be to add neon along the corners of it. Alright, I never thought I'd be putting this much effort into detailing a box, but this is what it looks like, and I want it to be like hanging from the ceiling from chains. Now, I've actually built chains before in the Christmas 2021 event. Actually, I don't remember if it was me or my sister who built it, but in Steeple of New York Adventures, I'm just gonna go over here in edit mode, right here, at the Statue of Liberty section. Right here, we built it with Tauruses. Okay, so this looks right so far. I'm gonna build one of them and then like rotate it around the middle to like speed this up, so I only have to build one. So now I'm gonna make these all have the material metal, but the color is the same as this one, but it looks darker because metal makes the color of parts look darker. I don't really know why. Now take a stud and put it perfectly in the center. I'll make it a different color so I can see it a little better. That sort of rhymed. Now select all these and also select the stud. Take this, rotate it 180 degrees, not 90, 180, and then put the duplicated stud in the same position. Conveniently, it looks like I can like align it perfectly. Now I can select the chains on both of these, but not the stud. Duplicate it, and then rotate it 90 degrees to right there. Ta-da! I suppose I could put this outline thing around the inner boxes, but you're not going to see those unless you look out with shift block, so there's not really a point in doing that. Okay, so you can wrap straight to this teleporter, or you can jump here, which this is actually kind of a difficult jump. That's sort of a trap, I guess. I'm gonna leave that there. Anyway, this needs to teleport you to the center of this box that looks like the center. Alright, I got that working, mostly. So, you jump to this, and then you need to get to the buttons, which are at the top. They look the same as the teleporter, but whatever. And they are can collide true, so like, you can stand on the previous button. Now, I did get a little bit lazy, and you can see there's much less things further out, but I'm pretty sure that it is possible that even if you fall down here, you can make it to the 3rd button, which is at the top. I was originally going to make it deactivate the chains and the outline, but I think it actually looks pretty cool with that, but not with the chains, like, that. So I'm going to add some wedges here to make it look a little bit better. Now it's going to cause Z fighting above it and also below it. So what I'm going to do is I want it to be visible from the top. Like, so if you're looking from outside when all the things are still here, you'll be able to see the wedges. But from in here, I don't want that. So it needs to go up 0.05 here and also up 0.05 here. So what I can do is not actually resize it, but instead just select them all and move them up 0.05, since it's still going to need to be one tall anyway. Oh, and also the last thing you're supposed to do is jump to this button, which is actually a teleport pad now. Okay, so I can give this whole thing a test. You jump to that, then you do this to reach that button, then you, I guess, head hitter to do that, or I guess you're just jumping to it, not really a head hitter. Pretend I didn't just fall there, and so now you press that, and after the last button, there's not really a safety net, so if you fall, you're gonna have to hope you land on, like, these other studs. Also, when you jump to here, the advanced tools part that resets the gravity back to normal is right here. and then you would jump to this to get onto the next section, which is where the next comment comes in. The gameplay is upside down. You can activate a button to rotate the gameplay around. You need to complete a few button challenges in order to leave. So that's what this entire floor is going to be, floor 16, or almost all of it. So what's going to make this interesting is I got to build gameplay that's possible both upside down and normally, and it also needs to use less than 30 parts, because there's going to be 2 buttons you press up here somewhere. One of them is going to deactivate the upside down gameplay, and one of them is going to activate the normal gameplay. We're going to make these all be gray universal parts, like this moving part. I'll just put like more scattered platforms, but this time they'll be this size platform. In fact, I'm going to make this use exactly 30 parts. So currently there's 11 of them. That's 12. This is 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Alright, there. I think that's 30. Maybe I miscounted. I don't know, though. Okay, well, I get to know how many there are now, because I have to select them all to add a decal on the bottom. And it'll tell me how many parts I have selected at the bottom of the screen. Okay, I went over by 1. The one I'll remove is this one, since it doesn't lead anywhere anyway. So why do I have these all selected? To add an image to the bottom, and it's going to have this image ID. So the purpose of this is so that you can like know when they're flipped over, I guess, so that the different sides of them look obviously different. Now what this decal is, I made it a long time ago. It's supposed to be a portal, but I mean, I was looking through the decals I made and it kind of fits the color scheme of the Citadel, so I was like, okay. Alright, now what I'm going to do is duplicate this and rotate it 180 degrees so that the whole thing flips over. Now I'll just move it up into the sky by 180 studs. I chose that number because I would just set the number 180 right before that. This should make it easier to select them later and then move them back to the position I want. Okay, actually I just undid that because I need to make sure that wherever I place the button, there will be something that appears to catch you beneath you. I was gonna put it right here, but I guess I'm just gonna have to put like a conveyor or something that activates, or some other platform, a new platform that's not part of this, so that you actually have somewhere to land. Also, apparently I never had selected this before, so I'm going to delete those. That should be 30 things, although I can check. Yeah, it's 30. But I'm going to have to remove one in order to place the conveyor, or like have that activate by the button. It's going to be this one, and that means I need to find this one on the rotated version. So it's going to be around here, sorta in line with another one that will be down here. Here it is. It's this one. So now if I select all these, there should be 29. There, now I need the 2 buttons to make this work. One of them doesn't need to be visible, so I'll just do that, then delete this temporary one to get the default properties, then make it invisible. We're going to make the visible button the make objects visible button, which for infinite time will activate all 30 of these. The make objects invisible button, which is invisible, will deactivate all of these. In addition, the make objects visible button will need to activate a conveyor. Well, it doesn't have to specifically be a conveyor, but I'm gonna make it be one. But like a catching platform, basically. It's gonna have to be unmarked because then you'll be able to see the arrows before it's activated. So we're gonna make the conveyor speed be 1. Make objects visible, select that. There we go. Now select all these, 30 of them. Why are there 30? There shouldn't be 30. Oh, it was because I had this selected, I think. But now I don't have it selected. In addition, I want to do that. Now it should be 30. Transparency 1. You click that a million times so that it actually makes it can't collide. False. There we go. That should make that work. Now I need to select all 29 of these, set my snap to grid to 180. And put these back in their correct position. Okay, these still exist, so that's a problem. It's not a bug, it's a feature, because that's gonna be part of this mechanic that I'm gonna explain with signs. All the gameplay flips upside down when you press the button. During this section, you can only stand on decals that are on a part that is currently activated. So you can't stand, like, here. You have to stand on the gray platforms. So when you jump to this, that didn't work. Not really sure why. That's slightly concerning, but now I need to decide where this takes you. I guess I'll put another teleporter up here that takes you to this next floor. Alright, I seem to have fixed the issue by moving the Make Objects Invisible button up half a stud. The floor itself is fragmented by the abyss, where the player starts with one section with a button that restores another section, and so on. We're going to start with a bridge thingy that needs to be replaced, so it needs to look destroyed. So we'll add some wedges to do that. Okay, that looks good. I'll leave the wedges can collide true, unlike I did back on floor 9, I think this was, where because of the conveyors for the gravitational pull of the black hole, I had to make some of these be can collide false, so that it would work right, since I can't make a conveyor be a wedge. But now I need to take apart to fill in the space. I don't really want it to be 0.5 at all, so this is going to get moved over half a stud, and so are these wedges. I think it would look best if when the part is restored, it's like not the full size, I guess. So if I do like 0.75, and then I can rescale this, there. And I do want it to be maybe a slightly more grayish color and universal. Actually, no, let's do inlet. There, very epic. So now I'm going to finish building this last floor, and then it's time to show the whole floor start to finish. And by floor, I actually mean 3 floors, except not the first time when I was saying I was going to finish the floor. Alright, well, it's almost 1 a.m., so I decided I'm not going to finish floor 17 right now, but I did add a little bit more than what you just saw a moment ago. I'll finish it off camera, but here's the idea if you want to come play this. So the floor teleporter will take you to right here, but the previous floor ended up there. Alright, so you start by doing this jump, and then you have this conveyor jump. It's not really a conveyor launch because it doesn't go that fast. Okay, and then actually it's probably best to use the half stud kill brick thing, because that makes this jump easier. Anyway, when you land on that platform, that's actually where the button is that makes the void start coming towards you. Or abyss, I mean. The abyss chases after you, says question mark, question mark, question mark. You can go this way and take the kill brick hits if you want, or you can go the normal route, which also isn't too bad. And then you can actually just jump straight to this teleporter. In here you have a lowered gravity, and you need to get to the pink buttons. There's the second one, there's the third, and then you go here, onto that teleporter. All the gameplay flips upside down when you press the button. During this section, you can only stand on decals that are on a part that is currently activated. Also, you can start to see the abyss. Oh, I didn't make the box be semi-transparent like I said I would. Oh well. Anyway, you need to get to this button, which will flip the gameplay over, and it also activates that beneath you. And there's a teleporter, and Shark says the floor seems to be fragmented by the abyss. Player says maybe we can somehow restore the gameplay. It's pretty obvious you need to go this way, because the other way is destroyed. There we go, there's a button, it activates this. On this one I did add these little thingies like it's breaking apart. I'll probably do that here also off camera. So you do that wraparound kind of thing, and then you got a 1 stud, and you got another 1 stud, then you press that, and you can actually just jump back to here and walk across. That's the end for the time being. I'll add a sign that says that. Alright, well that's going to be the end of today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to leave a like and consider subscribing down below. Here's the Obby ID one more time. There's 2 more videos of the series. One where I build the final floor, floor 18, and the other where I play the whole citadel start to finish. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss those. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.